Hey there, party people. This is your girl, TC Mason, your health and happiness strategist. And you're here tuning in to the beautiful word of life where we talk about mental health, fitness, pursuing everything happy, and how to just increase our life. And life, in case you don't know, life stands for learning instruction from everyday experiences. Um, in case you haven't heard of me, I'm TC. So I am happy to be here and be live and enjoying this beautiful day. And we're just going to get right into it. So the question that we're going to be addressing today is what to do when, adulting seems overwhelming or challenging. And you want to save this to your timeline, or you want to share it with people who are actually alive. Because adulting is real, living life is real. So share that with people you know. Just share, and save it to your timeline just in case you need to pop off or pop back in. That way you'll always have it. So what do you do when life seems overwhelming? And adulting just gets really real. And I don't know about you, but if you live on this earth long enough, there's going to be some unexpected things. There are going to be things that bring you joy. There's going to be things that bring you sadness. There are going to be adjustments that you need to make, just unexpected stuff. So adulting is real. Living is real. And stuff happens, right? Just recently, yesterday, I'm not sure if you guys are aware. Hey, everybody. I'm not sure if you guys are aware, but yesterday there was a designer who died. She committed suicide. That's and left a suicide note, Kate Spade. I'm not sure if you guys are aware of that. And I was at the register yesterday just getting some stuff, and the lady was like, hey, do you know about Kate Spade? And I was thinking like that she was going to tell me that purses or something were on sale, and she was like, no, she committed suicide. And she was like, I just don't understand. And I'm not sure if you guys know, but I'm a mental health therapist, so I actually counsel people daily, be it singles, couples, entrepreneurs, children. So I provide mental health therapy for a lot of people. And when she said I just didn't get it, it, the idea came in my mind, like a lot of people don't get it in terms of how important their mental health is. Not to say that Kate Spade didn't know how important her mental health is, but her committing suicide actually demonstrated that she had a difficult time coping with whatever was going on in her life. And so she chose to end it that way. And your mental health, man, is so important. I mean, like, it's so important. It dictates how you think about yourself, how you feel about yourself, how you interact with yourself. But guess what? Even though it dictates all this stuff, most people don't invest in their mental health. They don't. They just go about life. They live life. They allow things to happen to them. They respond to things, but they don't address their mental health. They don't invest in therapy. They don't invest in workshops in terms of how to better cope with things. They just don't do it. So what do you do when life gets real? Like, honestly, what do you do? Do you have a crisis support system? Do you have a toolbox that you use? Like, is nature medicine for you? Do you go and talk to a therapist and have your feelings processed? Like, what do you do when adulting gets really, really real? And like I said, if you've lived long enough, you've either had people died, you've had job losses, stuff like that. You may have even experienced a positive situation and didn't realize that you were grieving. Like if you got a promotion, if you graduated, a lot of people are graduating during this time. If you graduated, you're like, yay, I'm happy. And then the other side is like, okay, what am I gonna do now? So even something positive can bring about different emotions. And so I wanted to just talk to you guys about that, about mental health, and why don't we invest in our minds, in our mental health, our perception of how the world is, like what gets in the way. So I wanted to share a couple of tips in terms of how to deal with stuff when stuff gets real. There are certain things that you have control over and certain things that you don't have control over. Some of the things that you have control over is sometimes your response. You have control over when a situation happens, having something in place already so that you know the things that you're going to use in your toolbox. So one of the things, if you can't afford therapy, I say get you a composition book. A composition, a 79-cent composition book, and begin to process your feelings in terms of just writing them out, beginning to process. If you can afford therapy, I say definitely go to a therapist, because therapy definitely works for those who work it. So you can be able to process your thoughts and not have a lot of things that are going on in your mind just bounce back and forth. You need to get the stuff out. What happens is a lot of stuff stays in. We don't process how we feel. We just keep moving and moving, and then different situations trigger another situation that you haven't processed, and it's just over and over and over and over and over. This stuff is just compounding. But when you get the stuff out, you're creating space, and you need to just push it out. So when you go to a therapist, you're able to sit with somebody who's been trained to look at patterns, trained to address different traumas and see how they are relating to your life, how you're treating other people, how you are parenting. It's all connected. So if you can go to a therapist, go to one. Check with your healthcare provider if you have insurance. If you have a job, most jobs actually offer EAP, which you can get therapy, a certain amount of sessions for free through your job. So to check with them, and also check with your mental health, the government agencies around, and see what they offer. So you have a composition book, process your thoughts, write. Also, I said going to therapy as well, and taking control over the things that you can. You can control your environment. That means adding things that bring you joy. And so when I talk about adding things that bring you joy, it's going to go into you actually doing the work of knowing who you are. So I know that when I'm in a stressful situation, I have a toolbox already set. Like I know that I need to be where the sun is. I can't be in dark places for long periods of time. It has an effect on my mood. I also know that I need to be able to express my feelings or to be creative. When I'm not creative, I feel as though I am being just not good. So you have to know what works for you, and you actually have to do the work to understand how you function. Does that make a lot of sense? So there's so much more, and there's so much more to get into in terms of your mental health, like controlling your environment, processing your thoughts and feelings, knowing who is contaminating your space. That's a big piece. You can control your environment, so that means people, places, things. Saying no, knowing when your no is a no, and not saying yes when it really is a no. So it's a whole bunch of different stuff that contributes to how we feel, how we think, and how we behave. And then one last thing that I'm going to say, what are you putting into yourself? Because whatever you put into yourself is what will come out during these trying situations, during these adulting situations. So you have to be aware about what you're putting in. I always say the entertainment to education ratio. If you're going through situations, you probably shouldn't be listening to a whole bunch of crap that's going to bring you down. You know what I mean? If you're going through a situation, then you need more positivity during that period than anything. So how can you eat more of what you need during that time? So those are just some quick little things that I wanted to share with you about how to overcome situations when adulting happens, because things happen all the time, and stressful things happen all the time, but it's our ability to cope with them. And that's a big piece of our mental health, of making sure that you are constantly doing the work so that you can cope with the stuff that happens, because adulting is real. It's so real. Can I get one witness out there? Is it real? It's very real. So you want to make sure that you have a toolbox already in place, not during the storm. Try to get it in place before the storm. Know what works for you before. And that's you doing the work, going to therapy. If you can't afford therapy, get you a journal and write. And when you write, you will be able to connect and see the different patterns just in you writing. And just writing free flow, like not correcting grammar, not refraining from using curse words. If you need to curse, whatever is in your journal, but just getting all of that stuff out. You know what I mean? So that's what I have for today. I wanted to share that with you. If you know people who are in need of assistance, and you know these people because you interact with them, you could say, hey, you probably need to really talk to somebody, like somebody who's professionally trained. And then I know there's a little church piece in terms of therapy. A lot of times people say, I'm just going to go to church and get my needs met. Church is good. Church is great. And coupled with mental health professional counseling, it's better. Okay? So that's all I have to say today. My name is TC Mason, your health and happiness strategist. I specialize in mental health, fitness, and happiness, and pursuing it with a vengeance. If you need assistance in terms of therapy and you want to take this conversation a little bit further, feel free to get in contact with me via my website, www.I'mABeautifulWeirdo. Or you can follow me on Facebook. Share this with your friends and your family. We want to lessen suicide. We want to lessen depression. We want to lessen a lot of post-traumatic stress disorder, a lot of different anxieties, and a lot of things that are going on. And the way that we can lessen it is if we can tell people that if you're having issues, it's okay. Seek some help and process your feelings so we can get you out of this situation, okay? So mental health is wealth. Invest in it. Like the way that you invest in coffee, in Starbucks, invest in your mental health, okay? Because that is what is going to get you through life. And it very well may be the deciding factor as to whether you can continue or not. Remember, everybody's a beautiful, beautiful widow, unique, fearfully, wonderfully made, and all that good stuff. And I will see you soon, okay? Peace.